Hello guys, we're back here, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, and we will begin now, because we're ready. The court is now in session for the trial, Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court at the 2:30 p.m. on October 15th. Hold on, let me turn this down. And that's why you do this beforehand. And I clicked something. The prosecution will show the court at the defendant 2:30 on October 15th the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer at Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well. I would like to move to your testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. First, I would like to call a familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Gumshoe, welcome back. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? This here is employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studios. The security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station, there is a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here is Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder, where the body was found. Dun dun dun. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer. The defendant, Will Powers. And a young woman, a production assistant. All of the production staff were in the employee area until noon. That's the victim, I'm assuming. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now, jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. Ouch. The time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. Sounds pretty intense. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to the whole thing again? No, I think that's pretty good. Skip it. I think I can remember that. I think I can probably remember that. Sorry about that. Stutter. So the murder weapon was a spear. How? Medieval. Samurai spear added to the court record. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. Will the witness declare her name? She doesn't have a name. Oh, my, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Your name, please. Oh, dearie, don't need to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. Your name, please. Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witness to say their names. Wendy Oldbag, dearie. So just call me Grandma, and she's off. Blah, blah, blah. Ramble, ramble, ramble. Statements after statement. And objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain to rambling on the stand. I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we could get on with the testimony. Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct?
Yes, I was.
And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you.
You know your stuff, dearie. ...
You may begin your testimony. She sure is one hell of an old bag. Witness's testimony. Alright, so let's read this. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Coral, Jackhammer, and the rest had been doing a run-through since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. 1 p.m. I'm assuming. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, the man right there. He was heading toward the studio. Derp derp. You saw the defendant then. That's a lie! Very well. Cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. If we remember that photo that we have, that's clearly... It could be anyone in that suit. You can't tell that. You can't prove nothing. You can't prove nothing! I object to your statement! Had some errands. 1 p.m. Main gate. Murder. Interesting. It was Powers, the man right there, and he was heading towards the studio. Oh yeah? Well, I believe this contradicts that! Let me get this straight, Oldbag. Miss Oldbag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? God dang it, I keep doing that. Stupid emulator. Just a moment, Mr. Wright. God dang it. Sorry. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly? None other than a steel samurai, defender of Neil Old Tokyo. Mrs. Oldbag. Is this the Mr. Powers that you saw? Of course. Didn't your mama teach you any sense, honey? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right? Yeah. Well, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean that Mr. Powers is in the Steel Samurai.
I know that. I wasn't born yesterday.
Voice crack. No one in the court is accusing of you of that, witness. He's having trouble calling her Oldbag, apparently. However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you? Nosy old man. Of course I have proof. What? Huh? Even Edwards is surprised. The prosecution would like to ask the witness, please make known all of the information in your position ahead of time. How was I supposed to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me that this isn't any good evidence, as good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look. Wow. Old Windbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Let's hear about that. Let's hear about that proof then. Let's hope nothing else happens during this LP. I never said anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning, during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now, look at this picture. You can see he's dragging his leg. See? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy? Seems legit. So he sprained his ankle. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. She's got to be hiding something. I'll press until she squeals. Alright, I'm just gonna take a guess and see what I can press on. Never seen anything mean. Probably not that. This morning, a run-through action scene. Saw power strip and fall. Maybe let's press that. Trip and fall. Yes. And to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a lad!